the great thing about organic farming is that you do all you can to build up life in the soil. Now, one of the chief ways of doing this is by using natural organic manures such as composts and farmyard manures, which I'd use as opposed to artificial chemical fertilizers.
Soil produces food, and without soil, hunger is the consequence. And we damage our soil at our peril. Now, when a soil is deprived of its protective layer, then the structure begins to break down. The war brought in mechanization and then development of chemicals.
In the struggle for greater food production, scientists all over the world have turned their attention to the control of weeds and pests by chemical spray.
These things, most of them didn't smell very nice. They weren't particularly nice to handle. I think many people's deeper instincts were offended by them. They were usually called artificials, it's a rather derogatory term.
If you put artificial fertilizer near a worm, that worm will wriggle away from it. It's violent, vicious stuff.
And it was only gradually that people began to see the deterioration of the soil. And when it's lost its cohesiveness, then it's subject to erosion. I remember very well standing here just in that field and looking out over the horizon and just being horror-struck one dry spring day of March wind to see a great dust cloud obscuring the horizon.
In dry, sunny, windy conditions in the springtime particularly, the fine soil particles on the surface get whipped up into a cloud that can rise into the air 300 and 400 feet.
There's no soil erosion with good farming. If I went out and picked up a handful of my soil here, even after a night of rain, you'd see it so alive it almost walks off my hands. It's full of wiggly things. There was a classic book written by Lady Eve Balfour, who founded the Soil Association, called The Living Soil, that really made people sit up and think. Lady Eve was an independent-minded lady, and she was interested in farming, one of the first women farmers. She was a dear old thing, a bit frightening to begin with because she had short hair, short grey hair, and rather a husky, deep voice. She pointed out that it's obvious to anybody who looks at fertile soil that it's alive, it's a living thing. Well, of course, it's got a mineral base of sand and grains of rock, but this is all knit together with organic matter by microorganisms, both plant and animal microorganisms, which produce this substance called humus, which binds the soil together in crumbs. And this crumb structure is absolutely fundamental to the health of the soil. I was brought up with the saying, a good farmer leaves the land better than he found it. I never actually liked to call myself an organic farmer. I don't now. I liked to be considered a good farmer. I love farming. And that's why I'm been so richly rewarded. Not that I've ever made any money at it, but because I've put my heart into it, and I've been the richest man in the world because of it.